Roll A, take A.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Freddie Mesmer.
And I'm Ashley Wells. Virginia Tech President Timothy Sands is being confronted by concerned students and community members for his lack of action regarding white supremacist teaching assistant. There was a march last week which protested the teaching assistant, but this may not be the last action. Newsfeed reporter Mary Desmond joins us from the newsroom and has more on the next steps of this issue.
Thanks, Ashley. Mark Newhoff works in the English department at Virginia Tech. His ideologies concern many students and community members, which is why they have consistently asked President Timothy Sands to take action on the matter. Ajmal Alami, co-chair of the Young Democratic Socialists of America, is one of the concerned students who helped plan the rally and march last week. He believes that in order to hold Sands accountable, there need to be more actions like the march in the future.
Things that we can do is like obviously direct action. One of them we had was like the protest. We galvanized a large student body. That's only the beginning. The next step is obviously like getting those people continued and engaged within organizing from then on and figure out what we can do from there and what's appropriate.
Students initially took action at President Sands' State of the Union address, where they raised a banner and interrupted his speech with chants. President Sands reacted to their protest by saying, quote, "This is not the time nor the place for this," end quote. Shelby Roberts, a fellow graduate teaching assistant of Newhoff, says that this issue has definitely caused a rift between students and administration.
It's been a weird experience because since we're all first year MAs, we kind of walked into all of this as it was happening. Because from what we understand, the school has known about this since last fall. And so it's weird because like it's one of those things, you know, everyone is talking about, but no one can talk about or wants to talk about. So it's created kind of a division between like students and administration in a way. So
the university has known about Newhoff's beliefs since fall of 2016, yet no action has been taken, even though many believe that Newhoff's ideologies conflict directly with the principles of community. The university's failure to take action is creating a poor representation of the school, according to Roberts, and action must be taken to uphold the values that Virginia Tech stands for.
There has to be something else done about it to separate tech from these ideas, because we've talked a lot about like, you know, they talked a lot about to us about like teaching post Charlottesville, and then you have this where there isn't any action, and so there needs to be a clear direction from the college in some form or another.
We'll have more as this story progresses. I'm Mary Desmond reporting for the Newsfeed. Now back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Mary. Virginia Tech and the Corps of Cadets recently paid homage to the latest alumnus to have their name engraved on the university's pylons. Virginia Tech reserves this honor for alumni who die in the line of duty during times of conflict. A ceremony was held to commemorate the addition of Staff Sergeant Luther James Doss Jr., better known as Jim, to honor the pylon on Friday, November 10th. Staff Sergeant Doss was killed in the line of duty on April 30th, 1970, while serving in the Vietnam War. Staff Sergeant Doss became eligible to be included on the pylons then, but the university wasn't notified of his death until recently, almost 50 years later.
We were alerted to Staff Sergeant Doss' death by a fraternity brother. Earlier this year, Dana Hess was doing some research on his fraternity and compiling history, and came across Staff Sergeant Doss's story and realized that he was not on the pylons. And so he contacted the Virginia Tech Corps Cadets to let us know.
Many of Staff Sergeant Doss's family, friends, and fraternity brothers were on hand for the ceremony. Staff Sergeant Doss is the 431st name to be added to the Virginia Tech pylons.
Each year, Virginia Tech holds numerous jobs fairs to give opportunities for students to network and meet future employers. This year, the Department of Communication developed and held their first multimedia journalism job and internship fair. Newsfeed reporter Brady Hess has more on the latest fair to come to campus.
The Virginia Tech Department of Communication held their first ever multimedia journalism career and internship fair on November 10th at the Moss Arts Center. Students met with numerous professionals from different areas of the media industry who work in the New River Valley and the surrounding area. With this being a first-time event, the faculty in the communication department at Tech had many questions. However, professors such as Bill Roth knew a job fair for the department would make a great impact.
And I think it's critically important for our students to not only hear from us, but to also hear from people who are general managers and news directors and editors and people who are HR people that are doing the hiring who are here today, and maybe get over the nerves of doing an in-person interview. And it sounds crazy, but there's something to be said about having confidence, meeting someone who's a GM and shaking her hand or his hand and coming off as confident and poised.
After many spot surveys showed that students were patiently awaiting a job fair, the department answered the bell, leaving students very satisfied.
As comm majors, as MMJ majors, we see all these other majors at Virginia Tech, like engineering and business, and they have all these different career fairs, and we never really had one, so I think it's nice that we got the feet off the ground, this year with this MMJ fair, and then hopefully next year we'll get even more people to come out, even more employers.
With the success of the first ever multimedia journalism job and internship fair, students, faculty, and staff look to the future with great hopes and expectations. From the Moss Arts Center for the Newsfeed, I'm Brady Hess.
Long before students begin to worry about career fairs, they have to choose a college or university. A new business is linking current undergrads with prospective applicants seeking an unscripted, official, candid campus tour. Last year, William & Mary student Kent Rollins started Candid's Campus Tours as its only tour guide, hoping to combat the redundancy in most college tours. As word spread and business got more popular, Rollins hired guides at the 7 big Virginia schools. High schoolers and their parents were able to hear from students who were not trained tour guides, allowing for a more down-to-earth look at different universities. To date, Candid Campus Tours has expanded to 29 schools across the country and has over 115 guides.
I think you can ask more of the questions that you really want to ask, because I know I never asked questions because I was nervous in front of all the people, so I think you probably are, it's just a lot more like interactive.
Guides make at least $25 per hour and can be hired for anywhere between 1 and 6 hours. This allows them to show off parts of the campus not covered on official tours, like the Core Museum or Torg Bridge.
Now that Halloween has passed, preparations for the Christmas holiday are underway for many places here in the New River Valley. Newsfeed reporter Haley Williams has more on why stores are starting to prepare so early.
The winter holiday season is right around the corner, and preparations for the busy season are in full swing at retail stores like the one you see behind me. The question is, why do stores start so early? I spoke to some of the retail stores in the local area to find out just that.
Bells are beginning to ring and the temperature is beginning to drop. This means it is time to start preparing for the busy holiday season. Retail stores all over the country are working hard on preparations, from stocking their shelves with holiday decorations to decorating their store from head to toe. Some people may say that the preparation should come to a halt until after Thanksgiving.
I feel like Thanksgiving is an important holiday and that needs to be celebrated and given the attention that it deserves. And Christmas is important and Christmas is fun too, but I feel like we should focus more on celebrating Thanksgiving and then moving on to Christmas after Thanksgiving.
With the mixed emotions of starting the holidays so early, I talked to a current manager of a retail store for some insight on why.
Early because our stock rooms just do not allow us to have that much merchandise in the back with all the heavy winter clothing and the apparel coming in. So we try to have all of our Christmas decor, home decorations in place pretty much by the end of August, so we can have a good sell-through on that.
Retail stores are soon preparing for one of their busiest days of the year, the day after Thanksgiving, better known as Black Friday. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Haley Williams.
Just ahead on the news feed, see how Virginia Tech researchers are using dogs to find a cure for brain cancer.
That story and more after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. Cancer continues to be the leading cause of death in the United States. Virginia Tech researchers think they can help by working with local dogs to test brain cancer treatments. Newsfeed reporter Virginia Pellington has more on the story.
The Virginia Tech School for Veterinary Medicine received a $9.2 million grant to run clinical trials on dogs with brain tumors. If all run smoothly in the next 5 years, their hope is to use these dog trials and apply them to humans. I'm Virginia Pellington, and I'm here at the Virginia Tech School of Vet Medicine. Directly behind me is where these trials are taking place, so I sat down with researcher Rafael Davalos to get an inside look into how they're discovering treatments for brain cancer.
What's been really nice is that when you're developing a technology medical device, is that it's really hard to translate that skill from, let's say, a mouse study or a petri dish to helping humans. And then what's nice working with the vet school is they have these patients that come in, and they have these dogs that actually get brain cancer 3 times more often than people. So if anything you do to help that canine patient is readily translatable from a device perspective to help a human patient.
Virginia Tech junior Emily Quinn has a personal connection to the trial, as her dog, along with around 20 others, have lived long past what doctors have expected.
They've been working with him, and they're seeing a lot of improvement. He's doing a lot better, and he's still here with us today. It's really awesome that it's at my own university that I get to see this type of research, and then it also gets to apply to my little dog.
This has been Virginia Pellington reporting for the newsfeed.
Cancer and other life-threatening illnesses can take an extreme toll on not only the individual suffering, but the family of the individual as well. Organizations such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation aim to alleviate that toll by granting wishes to children with life-threatening illnesses. Newsfeed reporter Maddie McVeigh joined us to tell us more.
That's right, Freddie. The mission of the Make-A-Wish Foundation is to give children with life-threatening medical conditions and their families hope, strength, and joy. However, each wish costs roughly $10,000. Many organizations, including a few here on campus at Virginia Tech, put in a lot of hard work every year to help make these wishes come true.
Organizations such as Wishmakers at Virginia Tech and Chi Omega fundraise for the Make-A-Wish Foundation year-round. These organizations host multiple events each semester, which include raising awareness, collecting donations, or even working directly with the granting of a wish.
This particular event is hosted by the Sisters of Chi Omega. They're asking students to write down their wishes to show just how impactful a wish can be.
Many say these wishes not only affect the emotional and mental state of the children, but their physical health as well.
Wishes have been proven to help a child's mental, emotional, and lastly, physical health. It's great to be able to be a part of these wishes because you just know that it's helping children so much.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation doesn't hold anything back when it comes to granting a wish. They provide a once-in-a-lifetime experience for these children and their families.
Make-A-Wish granted my brother's wish. He wanted to go to Atlantis and swim with the dolphins, so that was what they made happen. They really didn't stop at anything to make sure that he could have what he needed. They worked with medical schedules, with hospital visits, with doctor's appointments to really make sure that we could have the full experience.
The Sisters of Chi Omega at Virginia Tech have been raising awareness and collecting donations via social media, and the sisters reaching out to friends and family to spread awareness of the mission of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
So we were able to raise over $20,000, which was so awesome. I'm so excited about that.
The sorority raised enough money to grant at least 2 wishes, and they say that is just the beginning of the fundraising they're planning for this school year.
If you're interested in helping these organizations support Make-A-Wish, Wishmakers at Virginia Tech is hosting a percentage night at Chipotle on North Main Street on Wednesday, November 15th from 5 to 9 p.m. Now back to you at the news desk.
Looking for a way to give back to the community, increase volunteer hours, or expand your knowledge of local nonprofits? Virginia Tech's Office of Student Affairs is offering just the opportunity through its campus leadership organization, VT Engage. The Get on the Bus initiative provides students with a tangible avenue to give back. Newhall West is home to the Office of VT Engage, also known as the organization that sponsors the Get on the Bus initiative at Virginia Tech. The Get on the Bus initiative is overseen by VT Student Affairs. The group is currently partnering with organizations such as Feeding America, the Virginia Tech Women's Center, and the YMCA. Lindsay Gleason, Communication Coordinator of VT Engage, shares more.
But the goal is spend half a day or a day with an organization and work on a project and learn about either the social or environmental issue that these organizations are focused on.
Students board the buses on campus at 12 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays and spend approximately 5 hours serving in the community. Currently, group sizes vary between 4 to 7 members per trip. Whether students are sorting donation bins, taking on leadership roles, or just being present, they're giving back in a tangible way. That'll wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can connect with us on Twitter or Facebook. Thanks for watching. I'm Ashley Wells.
And I'm Freddie Mesmer.